Okay, so this is a little video that I've done in collaboration with Chris at Beesons Motorcycles. His YouTube is going to be in the description. I'm just recording a little bit of a voiceover now because there was a bit of technical difficulties with the video and stuff. But yeah, I'll just move straight over into the video.
Mount as the suspension. Let me get my torch. You've got your GoPro there, so
yeah.
If I stick this here like this, this should give us a little bit more light. So what I've done to jack it up, I jack it on this point here because this is a strong point. This is obviously a structural point here. This is now giving us space to spin the wheel, which we're going to need for the DTI. These will be a bit of a pain to do because you've got cross-drilled discs, but we'll find a way around it. Now you guys on my camera right here won't see this, but Tidge is recording this on her GoPro, and we're going to swap our footage.
Yeah.
So you will see what I'm doing right now. Don't feel left out.
I've got a good, I've got a pretty good angle there. While we were actually filming, I wanted to ask you your opinion.
See you later, mate.
On something that I found on the internet yesterday.
Yep.
So this is in Asia. They've brought out for 2025. They're going to bring out
a Grom.
A Grom with stock touring luggage.
Now I like that. I'll be honest with you. I like that. Definitely got to show people that. You will have to excuse the noise. This is a working workshop and people are still working.
There you go. So it's a Grom with stock luggage from the factories. That's in the Asian market because the Groms are massive out there. I mean, they're big here, but I think that's absolutely fantastic personally.
I'll be honest with you, you get all these people with their big BMW GSs going around the world. I reckon you'd have more fun on that little thing
100%.
than you would some big BMW GS, because when you drop it, you ain't got no stress of picking it up.
You literally just pick it up and go. I think it'd be great, personally. That's
I'm with you on that. I really like the Grom. I'm not gonna lie. Although they're a very small bike and I'm a large individual, I've ridden a Grom and Siddis do a Kuma, which is their version of it, and I've ridden one of those as well. And I just think they're cracking fun.
Yeah.
Like the way you can get in and out of corners, and because they've got such a short wheelbase, they're low down, and they've got enough grunt to do what they need to do. Right, they need to come down. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to find a point on the disc. We might go on the in a bit with the DTI gauge to see how much run out it's got. It won't be dead flat, they never are, because they do get hot and cool down. I'm going to zero it here, so the zero is between these two marks here.
Okay.
Well, it does jump there, but that's alright. That's because there's a hole there, that's why that jumps there. And I've also made a mistake, so when you do this on a DTI gauge, I've just started to move it and I didn't have a reference point. But now I've seen the valve, we're now going to check that as a reference point.
I'll change the angle a little bit so you can see the dial as well.
Again, it will jump when we go over the holes. They kindly put a hole right in the way of that one there. It's going to jump again, but it is giving us a run. So we're almost round, and I think we can comfortably say that we don't have, because we're now back to the start point, and it's only moved like, these are hundredths of the millimetres. These are really small. Okay. So if that had gone round the clock once or twice, we've been to the 0.1 of a millimetre, 0.2 of a millimetre, and we're not there. So we know we haven't got a warp disc.
Okay,
I think the reason we've got now, I've got the packet somewhere. I saved it because I thought it'd be interesting to chat about, and I saved it. And where I put it is a whole another level. I hope that there are other garage mechanics out there that suffer the buggers that I suffer.
I'm going to I just want to move the GoPro to this little section here. And also, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to put this on the thing. Right, there is a box here, and it says, the box of I don't know where it goes.
Now, I need to clarify for this.
And also, I just want to point out, I'm pretty sure these were from my Ninja 250 that you did work on ages ago.
They were the ones, you know, the ones that we thought went wrong?
Yeah.
They've been in that box now,
Yeah.
and I was like, they've got to go in there. The apprentice, we got a couple of young lads that come in that are potential apprentices. Cameron's over there, he's definitely going to get an apprenticeship, really good lad, and there's young Max. Now, I asked Max 2 weeks ago to clean up my area. I said, if you don't know where anything is, find a box, put it in a box. And he wrote, this is a box, and I don't know what it is, which I thought showed
I think
intention
it's
and
brilliant.
innovation.
That's such a good idea.
Although he has put a brake caliper wind back tool back in that box, so I think we're going to have to give him a little bit of education on that, because that's a specialist tool for winding calipers back and forth. So we know that this isn't thick, this isn't warped,
Okay.
but I did keep the packet to the pads, here they are, look, it's in here. So the pads that I bought, that's because I thought, because they're carbon ceramic, and I think that is what was so, it was rather than, I didn't get sent ordinary EBC brakes. They sent me carbon ceramic ones for this, and I thought, oh, that must be something that Kawasaki used. And the build-up of dust is exceptional.
Yeah.
So we are going to just order some ordinary ones, because I don't think these are going to last very long, the amount of dust they're producing, unless they're just a dusty brake. While it's up, camera's rolling and we're chatting. Do you want to check your tyre?
Yeah.
Yeah? We'll get some gloves. And we'll talk the folks through what we're going to do when we're checking the tyre. I'm actually going to bring that in slightly. I bought it too much, George. Yeah, you're in the shot. Right. We checked Titch's tyre because we've got it up, we might as well check it. Are you off, Dave? Sorry, mate. That shit in, though.
Is this you just being bullied?
It's character building. It's character building. Oh, what has happened is I've known Dave since I was 15 years old, and Dave has given me this, and now I give it to William and Michael. And when Bear comes down, they give it to Bear. It's like it's character building. It's what it is. It's character building.
You can be a witness, okay? I got it on camera. He kicked my helmet, so if I
did
crash
actually.
and die because he kicked my helmet.
I'll give you a chair to stand on.
Right.
Wait, I missed that for a minute. And he said I'd get you a chair to stand on.
Yeah. Right. I'll see you later, mate. See you later, Dave. See you later, Will. See you later, Dave. Right. So what we're going to do is we'll check Titch's tyre. I'm going to get my magic verniers out. And measure the tread depth.
Let me move there.
Now you can get a specialist tool to measure tread depth. I've got a set of verniers, so I don't need to buy a specialist tool. Just use these, and you can get these for like £4 cheap ones off the internet. What I'm going to look is I'm going to look in the inner part of the tread. I'm going to stick it in there. We'll make it flat. So we've got 1.71 mil on that.
Okay.
Now the legal limit on a motorcycle tyre is 1 mil. But I'm not going to check it there, because any of the other techs watching this will be like, you can't just check it in one place, Chris, because we might get uneven wear. So we're going to spin it round a couple of turns, re-zero the verniers, and we'll check it. Okay, I'm going to clean that groove out slightly. I'm going to check it again, and we've got 2 mil there. Now it will depend where I do it here, but the tread depth suggestions the inner 3/4 of the tyre, which is this bit here. There is an equation that you can do. I'm not going into that shit, like where you can work out what the inner 3/4 is, but we can use our brains and just go, well, that's about 3/4 of the tyre in it on the inner tread. So that's what I do. When I do an MOT, by the way, I can't do that. I actually have to use the triangle and everything properly, so that's what we'll do. So we know that we've got around about 1 mil left on these tyres before they're worn out, but me and Titch have already discussed the tyres. I just thought it'd be quite nice to put in there.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
Titch, your turn.
Okay.
I've done it. So to zero it, open it, close it, wipe there like that, put it in there. If it's zeroed, leave it. If it's not, press the zero there, yeah?
Okay. And then.
And what you're going to do is you pull it down like that. So you've got the little,
Oh yeah, the
That-
little stabby thing.
There is a name for it, I can't remember what it's called.
It's okay, we'll use my language.
We're going to go in a stabby thing.
Little stabby thing.
A little stabby
so
thing.
then that would be 2.54.
2.54. Yeah, show the camera on your camera, that's 2.54.
There you go. I'm going to have to go behind so I can see.
Right.
Oh, you've got a thing, an error message has come up on your phone.
No, it has not. Shit on it.
Yeah, stop recording.
You bastard. Where did we get to?
I don't know.
I cleaned a load of stuff out for this reason. Shit! I think we've got quite a bit. We've got quite a bit. We're doing alright. It's only just stopped.
Oh, that's good.
Well, I've got plans. I'm full of plans. That's actually quite good. So there's only a little bit. So now, if I go and if I email this video.
If you want, we can just carry on recording on my
Just carry on
GoPro,
recording, yeah,
and
we'll
then I
do
can
that.
just send you the file
Yeah, we'll just do that.
later. I'll literally do it when I get home if you want.
Yeah.
Um,
That's why Mrs. said dinner will be ready for 7. So if I hold that while you do this, then
okay, yeah, sure. It's still recording, so we'll just keep it in from now. So, okay. So you press 0.
So make sure it's up tight like that.
It's up tight.
Then
Press
0
0.
it. Then open it up. So you've got a little bit hanging out the stabby bit,
Okay.
as we've nicknamed it. And I will put underneath this the real name of that particular part of the verniers.
So by doing it that way, that would make that 2.62.
2. Yeah, which is somewhere in this groove here, and
Yeah.
this groove will be a point. On some tyres, you have actually got one here. Let's get my torch so you can see it. I'm going to show you what's called a wear indicator.
Ah, that's
So-
what that thing is.
I'm going to pass this to you actually now, Titch, and let you do this bit. So as you can see here, there's a thicker bit in the tyre.
Yeah.
That is a wear indicator. When this flat part of your tyre is on that to get me changed. Like get me changed or get points on your licence. So you can use the wear indicators. That's too close. You could use the wear indicators to your advantage if you haven't got a measuring stick. Okay, they're not in every groove, but they'll be in every 2 or 3, and they'll be on both sides.
Okay.
The other thing we're going to be looking at when we're not going to poke it too much because it is a size. We're going to look at things like this, which is a bit of split or delamination in the tyre. Okay, we're going to look for stuff like that. If I was doing a service, I would give that a bit of a clean out to see just how deep it is. And there's another one just around here where a stone's got in it and then flicked out. So those are the sorts of things we're looking for. And then where Titch does a lot of miles, because you go to and fro from work every day on your day.
Yeah, I do. I think 150 miles a week.
Yeah, so so you're really putting some miles down. And some of that will be in a straight line. So what happens to tyres is they'll square off. So you'll almost get a shape like that. And you can see there's a flat edge there where Titch is going around, going in a straight line.
A lot of that is, I've done about, I'd say 500 miles on the motorway.
Yeah, that will
That is what's done that, but I'm not doing that anymore, luckily.
There will be someone out there who rides a GSX-R 1000 and goes, no, it's just because you don't lean your bike over enough. It's got nothing to do with that. Like there will be at a calf someone doing that. Like,
Yeah.
say that. It has nothing to do with that. It is the amount of miles you will do. But we've got a plan for that, haven't we? We know what tyres we're going to put on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Save that problem.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, wicked. I think that's the brakes checked and that's the tyre checked. That's all we wanted to do on this bike. I think what we might do quickly though, it's got ABS on it, this has.
Yeah.
Because the compressor is on and you say that your rear tyre is rubbish, I'll show you quickly change your brake fluid.
Okay.
You've got time to do that. Tony's told me dinner's at 6:30, so, you know, I won't be in trouble. So what was your first bike, Titch?
Well, so my first ever bike was actually a scooter, and a little not a Honda, Vespa LX 125.
Yeah.
Which I dropped so many times and crashed it that by the end it was like a kicked in bucket, and I covered it in stickers to cover over all the damage.
I think we all smashed our first ones up, didn't we?
Yeah, but
you have to.
that one taught me so much. Like the thing is, for me, unlike a lot of people, I didn't have family that rode, no one. I literally had like a couple of friends And that was it. And I had no one to say, oh, be careful on gravel and stuff like this. So I had to learn it all by experience.
And that brings me on to my next question,
Go on.
because you've got a thing that you want to do for ladies, haven't you? Because
Yeah.
you're a lady rider and you get asked questions all the time. So you've got a event or a group that you want to put together in Hastings, East Sussex area
Yep.
for the ladies. So while I do this, why don't you tell the camera about that event that you're trying to do?
Yeah, sure.
And let the folks out there know that, you know, you want to be able to give some lady riders some advice who may be new to it.
Because we've had camera issues, I'm now using a selfie camera.
Basically, I can't sort my life out and my camera shit itself.
Yeah, basically. So basically what I want to do is create a group where women can come completely for free. We don't want to charge or anything. And Chris has said he'll help me, and we'll do some maintenance tips and stuff like that. Just basically come along, ask for advice, anything you want to know. And, you know, we'll help you as best we can. I know quite a lot about riding at this point, and Chris is very clearly an expert at...
Oh, learning. Teach, we're always learning.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I don't believe anyone's an expert at anything, but I do appreciate that.
I'm going to say expert. I'm going to say expert. But, you know, he's got the knowledge mechanical-wise, which I can't help anyone with. But, yeah, so basically the idea is that we'll do it on an evening at some point. People can come, they can ask questions, bring their bikes, you know, how to tighten a chain, how to lube a chain. Examples I've been asked recently by people, because I run a local riding group in East Sussex. So sometimes because of that, you get new riders asking me for advice. And I've recently been asked how to do a heel start and stuff like that. So you can come and not feel nervous about asking the questions. No one's going to bully you. We're all learning. You know, we might have a laugh and a joke, but all in all, it's a place where we can come and all learn together and hopefully get a lot more women riders on the road and make sure they're safe as well, because especially with maintenance, it's really important for safety. And a lot of people, like, I never knew how important it was. My first bike actually ran out of oil. And I never knew.
The problem is when you first start riding, you do a CVT, don't you? And there's like someone there telling you how to do clutch control, or if you're on a scooter, just telling you how to do your brakes and that sort of thing. This is a brand new bleeder, by the way, which means it's a bastard to get on. So unless you've got someone around you who is really knowledgeable, or you're a very tenacious human being and are prepared to read every book out there, and if you go in my cupboard tits, you can show them just as you.
Which cupboard? This
the red one. Politely called me an expert. You'll see the expert and how many manuals the expert actually has around it.
Let's have a look.
Because we don't know anything. And most bikes I work on, I'll buy manuals.
Whoa, that is a lot of manuals.
And we will all, you know, I like to have a manual for every single vehicle I work on, if I can get hold of them. Because of that, so I'm now set up to do the brake bleed, excuse me, on Titch's bike. Now, I've already pulled through some brake fluid out of Titch's Kawasaki here. Now, this is the brake fluid out of Titch's Kawasaki, and this is some new brake fluid. Now, we can clearly see the difference. Now, this is not any fault. This bike's only what? What's your bike? How old's your bike?
22 plate.
So this bike's only 2 years old. So the chances are, even with a full service history, main dealers and most garages will not bleed your brakes unless you request. And this is a hydroscopic fluid, which means it absorbs water, and water has dirt in it. And this is why this looks like this. Now, if you've got a spongy brake, or you have a brake that is, how shall we say, it's inefficient when it gets hot. It's because the water in here is boiling off, and you're getting a spongy pedal. So I literally take this syringe, I pull it out the top, and this will go in a cup that I've got somewhere here, like this cup here for a minute. So I stick it in the oil drainer. And this isn't actually really a difficult job. If you get it wrong, it can be a pain in the arse, but it's not a massively difficult job. Most people could do this at home on a Sunday afternoon with a £3, well, a 50p syringe and a bottle of brake fluid. What I do need is to now pour without making a mess. So, I'll take this bit of tissue here. Brake fluid, by the way, do not get it on your brake, get it on your tyres or your paint or anything like that. This stuff is quite aggressive, and if you do, just pour water on it, and then that neutralises it. There's my spanners.
But yeah, as to your previous question, although my first bike was a scooter, my first big bike was a Honda VFR 400, which is a much cooler bike.
Like Honda's, gotta love a Honda.
Yeah.
Once you've done that, you crack this off. So this bit's a bit boring. What was your bike after that? After your VFR? In fact, actually, what did you think of the VFR 400? More to the point.
I absolutely loved it, and I remember my first time riding it, I was like, I should not be allowed to ride this because it, compared to what I learned on, you know, a nice new bike with ABS and all these safety features and stuff, a classic super bike, you know, super sports bike, that it was, I think it was a Japanese import from Japan, and it was a race bike, and it was all completely tuned. So to go to that was a bit of a jump.
The Japanese imports tend to be slightly more powerful than the ones we get over
Yeah.
as well. I had a GSX 550 ES when I was a kid, 1984, and that was a 570, not a 550, because it had bigger chambers on it. So the combustion chambers were slightly machined out to create more power. But we like Japanese imports for that reason.
I absolutely loved it, and if I could get another one now, I'd definitely do it. But it was my only bike, and I used it to commute on, and it never run properly, ever. I could just never get it to run quite right. And I even took it to like different mechanics, and they couldn't quite.
What year was it? Was it because they're V4? Those V4s. Okay, Cam. I'll see you later, mate. Have a good day, buddy. Well done for getting your bike running, mate. That was a good job.
It was 1987.
So that would have been a V4 with a bank of square carbs, probably similar to the NC30s. They're notoriously difficult to get running, like notoriously difficult. I've got an NC30 coming in here next week, and Marcus, when you watch this, I'm sorry, mate, but I am shitting myself a little bit because they're so difficult. They're so difficult to do. I know it's going to be it's going to take a lot of patience.
They've got an engine sound like no other, though.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
And it had a Yoshimura exhaust on it. I probably pronounced that wrong.
I think it is Yoshimiru. I used to pronounce it Yoshimiru, but yeah. I think it's, you know, like some people say Akropovich or everyone's got it different. So
yeah, but
there'll be someone out there
it had that
screaming at us.
exhaust on, and I remember when I took it into a mechanics, and I couldn't get it to start, and we had so many problems, and I heard it out the back, and I heard it start up, and I knew. I was like, that's my bike, it started, and I was all excited. But then I tried to pull away on it, and it didn't start. And I was like, oh, maybe it's run out of petrol, so I pushed it all the way home from the mechanics and put petrol in it, and it's just never started again.
No, they are notoriously difficult, right. Let me get some water. Now, Titch, as I said to you before, if you spill brake fluid, a bit of soapy water, clean it off, neutralise it, don't leave it on your bike. You will if you work with brake cleaner, clean it. So that's your second bike. That was your second bike. What was your third bike?
After that, I sold that £500, and out of that I managed to get an old ER5 off this guy. So £1 per cc.
I like a deal
with
like that.
a year's MOT, crash bars, and it was all painted black with these weird, like, he put these little plastic bumps, stuck it on.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, it was a really fun bike to ride because it was so ugly that if I dumped it, I didn't care. I went off-roading with it and everything. It was great. It was a really fun bike to ride. They're boring. They've got boring engines, like in my personal opinion, the ER500s, but they're bulletproof and you just can do anything on it.
To be honest with you, those small bikes, although a boring engine, if they're bulletproof, you know you can ride them within the ragged edge, didn't you?
Literally.
You can ride them within the ragged edge. So that's your brakes bled up. a couple of things that we missed, but it doesn't matter too much. When you're bleeding the brakes, you need to make sure there's no air coming out. If there's air coming out, then it's no good. But it's that quick. I think what's that taking us?
Like less than 5 minutes.
Less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's been a conversation. And we've had conversations in between that. Here's the thing now. Can I remember what? Yes, it goes on that way.
Yeah, and then after that, I had my first Ninja 250, which was a 2016, and then I had a break, ended up back on a 125 for a little while because I couldn't afford a bigger bike, and then got an older 2010 250, which interestingly was more powerful than the newer one, but I think it's because of the Euro 5. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah, because they restrict the engine so badly on these modern bikes and modern cars actually that they're not doing us any favours. It might have 200 brake horsepower, but it has a very boring 200 brake horsepower. We're saying older. Yesterday I said about how I met Chris. I met Titch because Titch had a Ninja 250 that you had someone work on your bike who snapped a spark plug in the head, didn't they? And I had to come up outside your home and, well, use what's called an RBRT piece to remove it. It was a touch and go situation, but we got it out, and then that did a bit of work to that bike, and that she served you well, didn't she?
Yeah, 100%. After you basically had to do like full-on surgery to that bike, like rebuild it completely.
We did have it stripped, but at the same time, when we did what we had to do, it went well.
100%, there was not a problem with it, and it runs so well after that.
It went well. It was quite honest. I can remember when you said you were going to sell it. My missus was like, "Oh, she's selling it. Where'd she get it? Your chain's gone slack." No, it's not. It's my eyes. I thought that's gone slack again, man. Right. So, as Titch's brakes done, what we're going to do at the bottom, we will link Titch's YouTube page. We will get you contact details for the ladies in this area to get hold of Titch if you want to come down here with Titch and me and do a maintenance course. Like I said, it's not going to cost you anything. There'll be tea and biscuits and that sort of thing, so we can all chat. And if you bring your bikes and you've got a problem, silly little things like checking the chain and that, we'll go through it so you know how to do that at home. And what tools to buy, I'll teach you. You don't have to spend millions of pounds on Snap-on tools like us techs do. You can buy a cheap toolkit from Halfords that will service you and your bike very well. And of course, if you want to do the riding with Titch and go out with other lady riders, we will leave a link and a description in the lower part for you to get hold of Titch and go and do that. Thank you very much for watching. Titch, thank you very much for being on the show.
Yeah,
thank you.
It's quite funny.
So we're not going to lock that out. You're going to get to see that. Now,